hearing the stories and recognizing the heroes in our lives that continue to make a difference. This is Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank. Here's Steve Scaffidi and Kristen Bry.
Always look forward to this week on the program, and now I have Kristen alongside. Kristen Bry, my teammate, partner, and co-host of the program, Point Taken. These are always great stories to tell because they're all different, and we have a couple life-saving stories today, and our guest and our honoree today also has that experience in his law enforcement career. And there's always great nominators, and I will say this about Leslie, who is our nominator, Leslie Frederick, who reached out through our nomination process. Enthusiasm is something that she is known for. And she just, you were so communicative with me that I appreciate that, because it's always it's sort of a scramble to find the right stories. And this is just a great story. Also joining us is our honoree. I don't want to make you like second fiddle here, but Waukesha Police Officer Dan Riess, who also has a great partner in your line of duty. And that partner is?
Canine Lambo.
Yeah, which is a fantastic name. Everybody that hears that goes, that is awesome. Spelled differently.
It's spelled Lambo, but after Lambeau Field.
So what we're going to do is we're going to obviously ask you some questions and celebrate your achievements in law enforcement, public safety as a first responder. But we'll start with Leslie a little bit. I would describe you guys as lifelong friends.
Yes, that is correct.
And I guess I would just ask you, as the nominator, why Officer Riess?
I've known Dan.
You can call him Danny. He doesn't care.
Well, he does to a point.
Oh, he does.
Can we call you Danny?
Usually anyone that knew me before high school.
But he was like a little brother to me. Just watching him achieve what he wanted to achieve. And when he got Lambo, just seeing his career take off even more and doing what he loves, just handling dogs, made me want to nominate him. As
a person, describe Officer Riess.
That's a hard one.
The good stuff.
Okay, the good stuff.
It's probably all good.
I don't know. He's there. He's a person. If you need to talk to him, he'll be there for you. If you need help, he'll be there. He always is trying to put a smile on your face. Like, he was always the class clown, always trying to make my parents laugh. It was never a dull moment in life.
And one of the things that I always do a write-up that will accompany all the audio from this interview is you've received numerous citations and awards, including, by the way, and this goes back a few years, and I didn't even think you were a first responder that long, 2015 Life-Saving Award for administering CPR and chest compressions on a person who was unconscious and non-breathing. And the cool part about this story is, besides the recognition from your chief at the time, hospital staff highlighted his quick and decisive decision-making in saving the individual's life. If that's not the definition of a first responder, I don't know what is. That is incredible.
And so, I guess, are we going to play the feature first?
Let's do the feature.
Okay.
So we'll play the feature producer Jazz put together. We always interview our candidates and our honorees and our nominators ahead of time. So we crafted a little feature for you. Then we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and have some more questions for both of you on Salute to Service.
I'm Leslie Frederick. I nominated Dan Riess for Salute to Service.
Hi, I'm Dan Riess. I work for the City of Waukesha Police Department.
He got an award for Rookie of the Year for police officer.
I've been with the Waukesha Police Department 12 years at the end of this month.
I've known Dan for many, many years. Seen him growing up. Heard him wanting to be a cop and everything. Once he got to be a cop, he always wanted to handle canines, and then when he had the opportunity to handle canines, he went for it and got approved for it.
Lambo is the dog in question.
He's gorgeous.
I got paired up with Lambo 1 year ago. Right now, he's still under a year into his career, so I'd equate that to like a new officer out on the road. We graduated from handler school together. He was about 5 weeks into his career. When he's out of the car, he's looking up at me, and it's pretty incredible knowing he's always got my back. He's with me all the time, whether he likes it or not.
He's done a lot of work. Like, he's really good at his job. He doesn't like people, from what I understand, but
he likes his officer.
He loves his officer.
Lots of people have pets. The day-to-day maintenance isn't anything I'm not used to. It's more so the extra liability that this dog is trained to apprehend people, and teaching him the difference between work and home. That's been one of the bigger stressors in our life. Got deployed to a barricaded subject in Waukesha. Subject was wielding a machete and holding his roommate hostage. He ended up barricading himself in a garage, and after the tactical unit tried anything and everything to get him to peacefully comply, they utilized tear gas, flashbangs, things of those natures. We were able to see on a drone footage that he put the machete down, and we decided to deploy Lambo into the garage, and he actually apprehended the guy.
Who's calmer in these situations, you or Lambo?
I'd like to think me, but I'm going to say Lambo. This week has not been a good week for us. We're prepping for certification. He has to recertify annually. It's a series of tests for tracking and bite work and drug detection and all that. During the bite work preparation, he broke a canine tooth almost off at his gum line. So he actually had surgery this morning to clean that up and repair that a little bit.
So full report, Lambo is going to be just fine?
Just fine.
What does salute to service mean to you?
To me, it really means honoring those who have come before us, really. Those that have made law enforcement or first responding the reputation that it is. Just trying to do my best to live up to that reputation. Being out there, making a positive difference in the community, going home safe at the end of the night. It's something different every day, knowing that you can actually make a difference in someone's life when they need it most.
Oh, love that. Officer Dan Riess, our first of 6, and I said 6 because we have co-honorees on Thursday, I believe. We'll take a break on Salute to Service presented by Waterstone Bank. We'll meet the officer in a little more detail. Officer Dan Riess, Waukesha Police Department. We're going to talk about an event that's coming up, and I love the fact that we're talking about a canine officer here because that's a big deal for departments. I know we had one in Oak Creek. And Leslie Frederick is also here as a nominator. Terrific story. Great job, Jazz, on that little feature piece there. And all this stuff will be available, of course, on our podcast page later. Love telling these stories. We'll have more of this story on Salute to Service presented by Waterstone Bank after this on 620 WTMJ. First honoree of this year, 2025. He is a Waukesha police officer, Dan Riess, and I always throw in the canine officer as well. Lambo, L-A-M-B-O, nominator, Leslie Frederick, and I've said it at the beginning, I'll say it again, just a great, this is what I love about this. How you describe the person you're nominating, the context you provide is one of the reasons that I go the next step and I contact and we pick some of these people. So great job, Leslie.
I tried.
Officer Riess, you became a police officer, but then you wanted, the goal was always to handle a canine?
Yeah. We didn't even have a canine unit for the first portion of my career. But that was always in the back of my mind as something I would like to get into.
So what functionally changes day to day from what you do from what the other officers do?
Not a whole lot, to be honest.
Okay.
I do have the added responsibility, but I'm still out there on patrol, handling calls, enforcing traffic laws, things of that nature.
And Lambo just rides in the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
All right, so Leslie, how proud are you of this guy? I mean, it's a cool thing.
I am very proud of him.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about a life of public service, they're not easy. And I'll ask Dan the same question. But when you're watching Dan from, what'd you say, 4 years old or whatever it was, become the officer that he is and show these leadership abilities and save. I can't even imagine what it's like to save someone's life. It's actually, that story prompted me to re-sign up for CPR training because I had it so many years ago. I've forgotten all of it. I don't want to be that person that's standing there. But I mean, how cool is that?
It's cool. I mean, it's totally different. And like when I talk to Dan, he's not in it for the awards,
I know
all
that.
Not. He's doing his job. So the recognition is just a plus.
So I have a question because Lambo lives with you, right? So you're with this dog all the time, and it is both your teammate and your pet, right? Or do you not refer to him as a pet?
I wouldn't refer to him as a pet, but he is with me 24/7.
But because I have to imagine, no matter what, when you're in the field, the care you have for your other officers and the brotherhood and the teammates and stuff, but this has to be to a different level as far as the emotional bond you have with Lambo. I'm assuming.
100%.
And so when we told the story in the feature in the last segment, as far as when you deploy Lambo into a dangerous situation, like what does your heart do? Because it has to feel like this is his job, but it's also your boy. In
that moment, really, it's just relying on our training.
Yeah.
Knowing he's going to do what he's been trained to do, and he's out there to protect us, really.
One of the things you told me, and it's important because I know this is a common theme among canine officers in those programs across the state, is this is not tax dollars. These are donations. And I know that you guys exist on that. I think our community, Oak Creek, does the same thing. We've had people fund this program for years, and it's so beneficial to local departments. Talk about that. I actually going to provide the link on our write-up on our website so people can actually donate, because I know these canine programs are so popular with the public that you serve so well. But do you have a fundraiser coming up? And I want you to talk about that.
Sure. So we have attained our 501c3 status, meaning we're not for profit. We don't use a dime of tax dollars towards anything canine related except for our funds, or our wages rather. Equipment, like the squad car itself.
Surgery.
Lambo's tooth surgery he just underwent. Everything comes out of our canine budget, which is donation driven.
I don't want to end this without saying this, because you don't do it for the awards or any of that, but there are some cool things you get for being one of our honorees. 2 tickets to the Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show, and Blue Angels are going to be at that thing, including a parking pass. $25 gift card to Botana's Restaurant, $100 gift card to the Packing House, and there's other stuff thrown in. There will be a plaque that we'll get to you. But I know you don't do it for that. But I want to thank Leslie for sending in the nomination, and for you for doing a great public service as a first responder, and demonstrating, I think, pretty clearly, one, how important these local positions are in our local departments. And, you often, this is a common theme among first responders, you meet people on the worst day of their life often, and you have to react in real time. You don't get to pause and think about it. You often have to do these things right away. And to demonstrate a high level of public service is one of the reasons we selected you as our first honoree. So congratulations on all of that. And thanks for the great job that you do. You're a great example of why I and we like to do this.
Thank you.
Officer Dan Riess, Waukesha Police Department. I wonder what the folks in Waukesha are going to say about this. So we'll get some good...
We heard you have to bring treats now?
Yeah. You got to bring the cupcakes.
You made the news.
And Leslie, fantastic job. You weren't nervous at all. You did a great job.
No, not at all.
All right. We're going to take a picture after the show. So stick around. This is just one of six great stories. Going to have a bonus one on Thursday. I love telling the stories. Thanks to Waterstone Bank and all of our great partners for letting me do this, letting us do this. This is a great, great week of the year. Salute the service presented by Waterstone Bank.